Rogers, and I am the president of the Vernon Community Network, located in the Vernon-Rockville area. I'm here this evening at the Vernon Community Network Nook, which is located at 116.5 Grove Street, Vernon, Rockville, Connecticut. So one of the reasons we're here is to talk about educating during the pandemic, which the Vernon Community Network received a small grant from CHR to run this program. So this evening I have two guests with us, Laura and Lisa, that will be introducing the Educating During the Pandemic program to you.
Hi, I'm Dr. Laura Domershank. I've been a school psychologist for 25 years, and throughout my career, I've spent a lot of time advocating for children and families.
My name is Lisa Perry, and I have been a public school parent for over 25 years. My youngest is a freshman in high school, and I have always been passionate about being involved in my child's education. And in particular, my youngest, who has an IEP, has opened up a whole nother world to me, and I've seen a lot of parents struggle with it.
We would like to offer some help with some of these struggles that children are facing in schools.
When the VCN invited me to become part of this Educating During the Pandemic, some of the women on the board knew that my son really truly struggled during remote learning during the pandemic. And I know I have a lot of friends and family that's been true for.
So in this group, we will be focusing on kids who are in special education, but as Lisa will talk about in a moment, kids do not have to be in special education. But some of the things surrounding special education that we'll be focusing on is talking to parents about the special education process, how to best be a member of the PPT team, how to understand what a PPT is, what an individual education plan is, look at evaluations with the families, understand the evaluations, understand the recommendations that come from the evaluations, and pay particular attention to the goals and the goals that are in the IEP.
As she mentioned, this is not just for parents with families with IEPs or 504s, although that's obviously where the greatest amount of help will be, because that can tend to be very expensive. Any parent who's got a student who's struggling, falling behind due to the pandemic, possibly in need of tutoring, possibly needing evaluations to find out where they might get some extra help. We just want to really be a place where you can come and get some answers for your kids.
There are a lot of families who do feel as though they might want an evaluation, they might want more information about their child's learning profile and don't exactly know how to go about requesting that. And so we can absolutely assist in walking through the process, and it is a process, but talking about how to best do that to get some timely results is absolutely something that we can do, and does not have to be a child who is in special education. Right. And to your point, we can talk about 504 accommodation plans as well.
Our hope is that we will be meeting twice a month. We will be setting up anywhere from 2 to 4 45-minute consultation sessions with an advocate like Dr. Laura or others. We've got a pretty good network in our area, and you'll get an initial consultation after talking with me and going through what some of your concerns or issues are. I will set up an appointment and tell you what to bring to the appointment, and hopefully get a good start on some of the things that Dr. Laura mentioned that you would be learning about.
The individual meetings that we would like to offer families, but there are some other things that we'd like to offer as well. Lisa, would you share what those are?
Yeah. So in addition, we'll be hosting some group sessions that will be going through educating parents on the IEP process and the different phases of preparing for IEPs. Roughly 45-minute to 1-hour video sessions. We'll have advocates here to answer questions, to help help you write an email, help you, to kind of work through some of the things you're personally working through, but as a group at large, we'll be going through a series of topics to support parents for preparing for an IEP.
The individual sessions and then the groups. So those groups aren't necessarily individualized?
Right.
Okay.
Right. Very general. There will be a, Q&A opportunities, but there'll be, a general topic like writing goals or, what the different, notices are that you're going to have to receive from, that you legally are due from the schools, and just there's video for kind of each step of the process.
Okay.
That parents can walk through.
And so Lisa will be managing most of that with some support from myself and another advocate we work with. And then the individual sessions will be more one-on-one, sitting, looking at an IEP, having paperwork in front of us, being able to really do an analysis of what's happening and understanding the paperwork of your individual child.
Right.
Yeah. Lisa and I really felt as though this was a critical need because our children have endured a lot in the past 2 years through this pandemic, as their families have. And we felt as though this was something that we could offer our community that would be helpful now, but also helpful well into the future as our children grow and continue to need support or don't need special education support, but the advocacy skills that the parents will learn will take them far beyond this group right now. And so it was important for us to provide this to our families.
Yeah, I think that'll personally, and I know a lot of other parents felt at times during remote learning like they, it's just out of their control. Sitting at home, working a full-time job remotely with a son who was unable to access remote learning, and I knew, I could just see the hours of special education slipping away. He was not accessing his IEP, and I exhaustively looked for anything in our community in Connecticut, and there just was no help. And now that things have opened back up, you approached me about this, and I thought, this is a great way to connect people with some resources that are there, give them resources they don't have, aren't readily available to them or affordable to them at no charge, and really assess what it's going to take to get their kids, back where they would have been.
The fact that it's free, and we have received this generous grant from Community Health Resources, is, I think, perfect timing considering everything that's going on and the needs that are out there, and families understanding that they really are such an important member of the team. Mm-hmm. And I think that the process of support with, if you have a child who's in special education, can be very daunting and intimidating. And there's a lot of information out there. There's some misinformation out there. And so being able to help support families through special education is, I'm really excited to be able to do that at no cost to families.
And I think having an informed parent show up at the table at an PPT, it changes the conversation a little bit. I think that in our area we're extremely lucky. Schools, districts, they really want to do what's best for the kids. They have limited resources, as with anything, and so they try to do the best they can. And I, as a parent, have seen the frustration on administrators' faces at the table, knowing they wish they could do this, but they can't because the resources aren't there. But I think when you come informed and I think it makes it easier for the district to collaborate with you.
Yes. And schools they too are stressed and they're overworked and they've had a tough couple years. And so having an informed parent actually can be a great help to them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and having another member of the team and understanding that they do want to help their child. It can be a great partnership between school and parent.
Right.
So we hope to see you and reach out to Lisa if you have any questions or would like to set up an appointment, an individual appointment, or have interest in the group sessions.
Thank you.
Thank you.